you very much for joining us this morning. My name is Jennifer Hearn. I am the Chief Officer of the Ministry of Health and Culture, but I'm here this morning as the co-chair of the Deputy Governor's 5K Challenge Planning Committee. I'm joined this morning by the Acting Governor and Honourable Deputy Governor, Mr. Franz Manderson, also the co-chair of the Planning Committee, and Mr. David Dinner, who is the Chairman of the Cayman Heart Fund. I also want to welcome members of the Deputy Governor's Civil Service Wellness Committee and the DG 5K Planning Committee as well. Thank you for coming this morning. I'm going to turn it over to the Deputy Governor to say a few comments, and then to Mr. Dinner. We'll unveil the logo of this year's event, and then we'll open up the floor for some Q&A. So with that, I would just like to welcome and ask the Deputy Governor to offer his remarks. And I'll pass this across as requested. There we go.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for attending today. It gives me great pleasure to announce the launch of the 2016 Deputy Governor's 5K Challenge, the third fitness and fundraising event that is now an annual occasion. I take great pride in the fact that during the last 2 years, we have not only increased awareness about the importance of keeping fit, but we have also raised a substantial amount of money for good causes in the Cayman Islands. Our inaugural 5K Challenge in 2014 saw us raise $12,500 towards the $1 million goal of the Cayman hospice care, which they're going to be using for a new building. And that is due to break ground in the very near future. This success gave us motivation to keep going and the inspiration to undertake the event again last year. When we aim to raise double that amount, I always try to exceed expectations, that amount for Special Olympic Cayman Islands, to allow them to attend the Special Olympics World Games in LA. In the end, again, we far exceeded expectations due to the hard work of many persons and raised $50,000. In all, the team of 28 athletes earned 52 medals, 21 gold, 11 silver, and 20 bronze. That is something that we should all be proud about. And knowing the fact that those involved in the 5K Challenge made that happen, again, is something that we as a country should be really proud of. This year, having seen what we can do as a community when we all come together for a great cause, I have kept the bar high. And I'm going to continue to keep the bar high for these great causes. The goal for this year, again, is to raise $50,000, and I'm confident that we can do it again. In fact, I'm hoping that we're going to do better. The money will go to an extremely deserving charity, and I'm delighted to announce that we have chosen to support the Cayman Heart Fund for the 2016 Deputy Governor's 5K Challenge. The Cayman Heart Fund, which is represented by Mr. David Dinner, who has joined us, is a non-profit, non-government organization dedicated to the reduction of heart and circulatory disease in the Cayman Islands. Last year, the Cayman Heart Fund began raising money to buy a new backup ambulance for the people and visitors of the Cayman Islands. The Cayman Heart Fund has already reached a third of its $150,000 target, and with our efforts from the 5K Challenge, we can help them well on their way to their goal and their hopes to have a new ambulance on the road in time for Christmas. As many of you know, it is my goal to have a healthier, more active, and more socially responsible civil service. Therefore, the Deputy Governor's 5K Challenge hits on all of those goals. We are keeping our civil servants fit, and we are raising money for excellent charitable projects. The annual 5K Challenge is also a wonderful opportunity for not just civil servants, but the entire community to come out, along with our private sector partners, and take part in a great cause. While everyone who takes part in the event, whether walking or running, and I'm going to be running again this year, helps raise funds towards their entry fee of $25 for persons aged 14 and older, or $10 for those who are younger. We are also appealing for corporate sponsorship. We have a number of opportunities for companies to lend their name and their support to this year's worldly cause, or simply to make a donation. I commend the companies which have already pledged their support as gold sponsors. They are EY, Butterfield Bank, and Appleby Global, who along with an anonymous donor also filled these slots last year. We thank them for their continued support. This year, I am delighted to announce that we have also have an exciting new category for one platinum sponsor. The prestigious slot will ensure top exposure for the sponsor at the 5K Challenge and during all of the promotion in the run-up to the event. We hope that one of our existing sponsors will want to take up the platinum mantle, or we would welcome a new company to seize the opportunity. I also look forward to welcoming our returning sponsors in other categories and welcoming new corporate supporters. We still have a number of sponsorship opportunities available, including 3 silver level sponsorships and a limited amount of bronze sponsorships and sponsorships of gift in kind. In addition, I urge everyone in the civil service and the private sector to encourage your employees and challenge your industrial colleagues to take part in the event. Last year, everyone will remember we had over 1,200 participants, and this year I hope to see many more persons come out and support this worthy cause. I can't tell you how exciting it was for me to see 1,200 persons in blue walking down Elgin Avenue last year, and we want to cover the entire Elgin Avenue in blue again this year. The 2016 Deputy Governor's Challenge will take place on Cayman Brac on Sunday, the 17th of April, and on Grand Cayman on Sunday, the 24th of April. And I look forward to having everyone join us at both of those events. Please do come over and support our colleagues in Cayman Brac. In advance, I want to thank all our sponsors who have already come on board, as well as participants and organizers. Let's make this year's challenge the best Deputy Governor's 5K Challenge yet, and ensure that we reach our target of $50,000 for the Cayman Heart Fund. We never know that the life you save may be your own. So I want to thank you all for coming this morning and ask Mr. Dinner to say a few words.
Thank you very much. I want to first start off by saying that the Cayman Heart Fund is honored to have been chosen as the recipients of the funds raised by this year's Deputy Governor's 5K Challenge. I want to thank the Deputy Governor and his team for all of their efforts and also choosing the CHF. The Cayman Heart Fund's goal is to reduce the incidence and impact of cardiovascular disease on the people of the Cayman Islands. And obviously, having a modern fleet of ambulances is an important part of meeting that goal. Research has been presented at the Acute Cardiac Care Congress in Europe 2012, which confirms that patients with chest pain symptoms who call an ambulance have a quicker and more appropriate treatment and better survival rates. Currently, there are 2 spare ambulances, which are aging, will soon need to be replaced. They're used as backup to the 3 primary care ambulances. The backup ambulance will replace the 2001 unit, which has already completed over 250,000 miles. In 2015, just to give you an idea, there have been over 5,000 ambulance calls in the Cayman Islands. The new ambulance will ensure the emergency fleet continues to have a reliable replacement option during routine maintenance, mechanical failure, or in the need of a mass casualty response. The new ambulance will be operated by the Health Services Authority, which is responsible for the fleet. The gift of this vehicle will allow the Health Services Authority to redirect some of its capital budget to other vital health services and resources for the people of the Cayman Islands. Heart disease continues to be the #1 health problem in the Cayman Islands, and as such, it is our duty and goal at the Cayman Heart Fund to reduce the incidence and impact on the people there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Dinner. I'm now going to ask the Deputy Governor, Mr. Dinner, to come around to the front, and we're going to unveil this year's event logo. So. Can we actually get you guys to come up and join Stephen, Adira, and Tara come up and get in a picture, please? Just bear with us for 1 sec. So we have Stephen Duval, who is the head of the ambulance service at the HSA, Adira, who is with us on the planning committee, and Tara, who's with us on the planning committee, and also the co-chair of the Deputy Governor's Wellness Committee, who's at the service. Okay, we all come get a bit closer, turn in a little bit, get close. Great, thank you. Okay, so I hope you like the logo. That was designed by the team at Government Information Services. They exceed expectations every year when we ask them to design the logo for the event. The creativity and talent at GIS is incredible. So I want to say a big thanks to Charles Gilman, Carico, and Martha Connolly at GIS, who are responsible for that fantastic logo that we've just unveiled for you. I'll now open up the floor if there are any questions. We do have a microphone that I'd like to ask you to use. And if you can just start off by introducing yourself, because we are recording it, and then have your question. Were there any questions? Yeah, Dion, is there? Sorry.
Dion Anglin, Radio Cayman. Is there anything differently, this year than last? Besides the sponsors and all that, of course.
Well, we want it to be the best ever. So certainly we are going to do everything we can to ensure that we exceed expectations, that we do even more marketing than we did last year. Last year was fantastic. I think everybody in Cayman knew about the event, and we had a fantastic turnout. I think we love the route that we had last year, where we started and finished at the building. Some persons did complain that it was a bit too hot, so we're looking at perhaps a 15-minute earlier start, just so that people don't complain too much about that. But really, we think we have a proven method now of high delivery, so we want to continue with that.
Sounds good. And Mr. Dinner, can you tell us, why did you choose to come on board?
Well, they chose us, and we were very grateful for that choice. Obviously, we've been raising funds for the ambulance for some time, and we're very, very grateful for all of the sponsorship and donations that we've received to date. But this will be an incredible push towards getting us to our goal of raising $150,000. This will double the amount, even more than double the amount, assuming we meet that goal. And we hope to exceed it, obviously, more than double the amount of the funds that we've raised so far. Now, we still have a ways to go. There's still, if we do meet this goal, there'll still be a shortfall of about $50,000 or $60,000. And we're hoping to match that shortfall by the end of the year so that we can put the ambulance on the road by Christmas, as the Deputy Governor said.
Can I just say something about that? Obviously, because of the success of our event, we've had a number of persons writing to us and saying, can I be the recipient? That is a decision that I make. I have a criteria in that I want to support charities that are doing something specific. So I don't, so last year, the first year we gave to the hospice who was building a building. So you will see that a building has gone up. Last year, we were aiding Special Olympics because they were traveling to LA. So we got to see them travel to LA. We got to see them on TV. Really proud moment. So this year, again, we're supporting the Heart Fund specifically for them to get a new ambulance. So you can see exactly where your money have gone. And when you see that ambulance driving down the road, you can say, I was part of that.
And for the sponsors this year, one of the changes this year is we're having the BRAC event on a separate day.
Yes.
Last year we had it on the same day. This year the Deputy Governor decided that he wanted to make sure that he could go across to the BRAC and be part of that event as well. So for the sponsors, there's some extra exposure going on with actually two events happening, so sort of a two for the price of one, if you will. And also it's an opportunity for the sponsors to be part of something that Deputy Governor spoke about. It's just a really special day, and it is quite an amazing feeling feeling to look around and see the sea of DG blue shirts with the sponsors' names on them. There's, if you think about it, last year we had 1,200 people going down the road, and some 900 of them had the sponsors' logos on the front or back of their T-shirts. So it's a lot of exposure for the sponsors and an opportunity to be part of something really important for the community. Okay.
Hi, Kelsey Jukum from the Cayman Compass. So the gold sponsorship package is $5,000. What are those amounts for the silver and bronze? And then also, what percentage of the corporate sponsorship donations and the registration fees actually go directly to the charity? In other words, how much does the event itself cost to put on?
Okay. I don't have the sponsorship deck in front of me. I think the silver is 1,000 and the bronze is 500, but we'll email that out to you. And anybody who's interested can email us at supportdg5k@gov.ky. Last year, we were able to donate 100% of the funds that we got through our corporate sponsors to the Special Olympics Cayman Islands. So, and then the registration fees covered the cost of the event, and the sponsorship, 100% of it went towards the recipient charity. So I think that's a pretty good return. Yeah.
So how much did the event cost to put on?
Last year, it was $50,000. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Andrell? Yeah.
Is it the actual
Sorry.
cost of the event?
Oh, the cost of the event?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh.
sorry, I don't have that cost in front of me, but we donated $50,000. So
Yeah.
the registration fees covered the cost of the event for us.
So obviously, we have the T-shirts, they have all of the banners. The good news is that a lot of the banners that we paid for last year, we can use again this year. So I think we believe that the cost of the event will be reduced, and we'll be able to give even more of that money to the Heart Fund.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Andrell Harris with Cayman 27. My first question is, you're saying you want a more active and healthy civil service population. Of the 1,200 that ran, do we know exactly how much or a rough estimate of that was actually civil service members?
Right, it was more than half. I think we had about 700. That's again approximate. Again, we want to see that increase. We just had a most successful pedometer challenge that just finished last week in the civil service, and that was taken up by 500 civil servants. So I'm expecting to see a tremendous amount of civil servants taking up this challenge as well. So we're well on our way to a more healthy and fitness conscious civil service. We have our wellness committee who's been doing a fantastic job in pushing those initiatives as well.
As Chief Officer for the Ministry of Health, how important is it to see a community organization actually stepping up and trying to help bring on board an ambulance?
I think it's a tremendous boost for us to have organizations like the Cayman Heart Fund support the efforts of the Health Services Authority and the ministry as well. Events like the DG5K, the work of the Cayman Heart Fund, they're really key to getting across the message of prevention and the importance of prevention and wellness. Obviously, it's much better for us for people to embrace a healthy lifestyle, to be active, and to be making sure that they're taking steps to take care of themselves. And agencies like, or groups like the Cayman Heart Fund, with their education and promotion messages, play a really key role in helping us get that out and encourage people to do that. It's obviously one of those situations, we hope that nobody ever needs this ambulance, but we know that the fact is that there is definitely a need for it. So we're greatly appreciative, I'm sure, the HSA as well, of the support that we'll get, and we have had and continue to get from the Cayman Heart Fund and the other NGOs out there in the area of health.
Directed to you once again, a completely separate matter, but I must press. Judge Metier said that during the Canova Watson trial that Mr. Watson managed to fool several high-profile civil servants within the ministry and potentially a minister, but he failed trying to fool the jury. He's since been sentenced. Were you one of the high-profile civil servants that Mr. Watson managed to deceive? And if so, how do you feel about that? And what are your thoughts on the sentence that has since passed?
Well, certainly I don't think it would be appropriate for me to comment on the judge's decision in terms of the sentence. He's obviously the best person to make those determinations. I wasn't privy to the full trial and testimony, so I can't really comment on that. And I'm certainly not an attorney or a judge, so I can't really say whether that is appropriate sentence or otherwise. I'd also just appreciate if we could keep the questions to the topic at hand for this press conference today. Were there any other questions? No? DG, did you have any final remarks you wanted
Just
to make?
again, thank everyone for coming, for this, especially the press. And I think we all agree that Cayman is at its best when we all come together, unite for a worthy cause. And I can't think of anything more worthy right now than being more healthy, more socially responsible, and getting the Health Service Authority a new ambulance. The life you save could be your own. So let's all work together and exceed expectations once again.
Thanks,
Thank you.
DG. So just mark your calendars for the event, April 17th in Cayman Brac and April 24th here in Grand Cayman. We are appealing for some more corporate sponsors. We do have the new Platinum category available if somebody wants to have that extra special space on the front of the T-shirt. If you're willing or interested, please email support.dg5k@gov.ky. Thanks again for coming out this morning. Have a wonderful afternoon.
And don't forget to sign up.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
We're clear?